Hey everybody, this is Jamie Baxley, public safety reporter with the Pilot newspaper. I'm here with Libby Carter, chairwoman for the Moore County Board of Education, and she's agreed to answer some of your questions about how COVID-19 is affecting local schools. So we'll start off with a question from reader Caitlin H. She asks, according to the governor on Thursday, schools could be shut down for significantly longer than the current 2-week time period. Families are mentally preparing for schools to be closed through the end of the school year. Will Moore County truncate the year and have the children make it up next year, or will distance learning be offered for all grades, including elementary?
It's a very good question. My mother always used the expression sailing in uncharted waters, and I never quite understood what that meant until now, because we are truly sailing our schools in uncharted waters. We don't know what the future holds. We are waiting for instruction at this point from the Department of Public Instruction, DPI, as it's known, to let us know what potential shutdown there will continue. The governor shutting down our schools effectively has taken the control of our school year out of our hands, because we'll be waiting for further notice from the governor's office and DPI as to the direction we will take. Obviously, we accomplish much more when we have students in the classroom than we do when they are out. But our teachers are making every effort to continue learning opportunities for our students, although they do vary from school to school. We would hope that students will be back into school sooner rather than later, although it's currently looking like it will be into April before we actually can even consider resuming classes.
And here's Caitlin's second question. What resources will be provided to teachers who are not tech savvy?
Actually, the majority of our Moore County teachers are very tech savvy. They have been trained to use technology within their classrooms, and they receive a lot of help and support through our DIFs. Each day we have members of our information technology department who are available to help teachers. They're assisting as they upload lessons, as they record videos, as they search for more information on the web that can assist with classroom activities. I think that we'll find that our Moore County teachers are way above par for what they are able to bring in the information technology.
Finally, Caitlin asks, how will equity of educational opportunity be ensured across the district?
Well, equity within our classrooms is very important to us within the Moore County system. And I wish I could say that I could guarantee there was always equity in the classroom. But just as a classroom on one side of the hallway may be different from a class on the other side, so will our teachers' programming as they bring it to you online. Teachers make every effort to provide what their own students need, because, of course, the teachers know their students the best. And I think we'll find that what is needed and provided by one teacher for her classroom may vary from what is provided by another, but they will all be equally served and receive the programming that they need.
Our next question was submitted through Facebook by reader Kim Schmidt. She writes, can Ms. Carter please comment on how families need to socially distance, and to what extent, so as to not undermine the purpose of schools being closed?
Well, obviously, parents are going to know what's best for their own children, and I would not attempt to tell them how to control their children or what they might allow them to do. However, according to the governor's recommendations, we are supposed to be keeping ourselves apart, which means no play dates, not venturing out to the park, but staying at home with our own yards to take care of our children's needs. So I would hope that everyone is taking the governor's request seriously and doing what they can to keep their families separate. Now, I understand that because of jobs continuing on, some families are having to co-op babysit, and of course that can't be avoided in all circumstances. But if you can keep your family at home and away from others, that would be the recommendation.
And I would point out that we're sitting so far apart right now because we are practicing social distance. We are 6 feet apart, which is what the CDC recommends to reduce the spread of coronavirus. And our last question today was also submitted through Facebook by reader Brian Numerick. He writes, what's the backup plan for commencement?
I hate to think that there would have to be a backup plan, but this is still out of our hands at this point. We're waiting more guidance from the Department of Public Instruction or the governor's office to see just how our school year will be continued. But as with any year, when we schedule graduation, there is always a backup plan. If it rains at 8 a.m., then we reschedule for 2, and if it rains at 2, we reschedule for 7, and of course then it ships to the next day, and then eventually the final plan is mailing out diplomas. I certainly hope that doesn't happen to our seniors this year. They've lost a great chunk out of their senior years, and we would hate to deprive them of the opportunity to actually cross the stage and get a diploma. So we're hoping it won't come to that. but plans are yet to be made.
Libby, I want to thank you so much for agreeing to answer our readers' questions today. And before I let you go, I'd just ask if there's anything you'd like to add.
I'd like to talk briefly about our food program as it's going on now. We are just beginning this program, although as of yesterday we'd served well over 1,100 meals. We have food available each weekday between 11 and 1 at Southern Middle School, Cranes Creek Middle School, and Elise Middle School for anyone who has a child under the age of 18. A meal was available. It contains a lunch and then breakfast items for the next morning. We're passing these out to all school-age children, whether they're public school, private school, within our charter schools, to preschoolers, any parent who drives by or guardian who comes by and asks for these lunches, we're passing them out. At that same time, yesterday and today, Backpack Pals have been on site and they're passing out additional foods. And we also be passing out extra books if you want something to read and or help with your IT programs with your Chromebooks or with hotspots. So these things are going on at those 3 schools. Before I get finished up, I'd like to mention that please bear with us with the schools, to have a little patience with us as we continue to explore and to feel our way through what will be the best for all of our students and our Moore County families. Changes are going to occur. We still await a lot of instruction from Raleigh, and obviously we don't know what the future holds. But if people can bear with us, we're going to do our very, very best to stay on top of this and bring them what they need. Thank you.